What it is, it's your boy True McFadden, aka Durag True, with True Be Talking. And in this video, I gotta give my prediction for the Canelo Alvarez versus Terrance Crawford fight. Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey man, it's fight week. We finally here. Bud versus Canelo. It's going down. Hey man, y'all know I've from beginning to the end, I pretty much hated that this fight got made, but we're here now. I gotta give my prediction and give my thoughts on it. So starting with Canelo, man. We all know Canelo, bro. He's strong. He's fast. He's a punisher. He loves to inflict punishment on his opponents. He steps forward. So he's constantly, coming forward, constantly punching, but he's also really slick on defense. He slips a lot of punches. He blocks a lot of punches. Does a lot of good body work. Those really good combinations. And once he smells blood, you know what I'm saying, he's going in for it. I went back and watched the only fight I went back and watched for him was him versus Munguia, just to see. And watching that fight, it made me think like, yo, what the hell is Bud thinking, man? Like, dude, like Canelo has been fighting guys bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? He's at 168. I think he even went up to 175 for at least one fight with Bivol. But he's a bigger dude and he fights bigger dude. He's not necessarily bigger than Bud, but he fights people bigger than Bud. You feel me? Like him and Bud, they about the same height and all that, but Canelo been putting pain, putting hurting on dudes bigger than him. And this is a wild fight. So, he's fast, he's accurate, really good. Bud, of course, Bud, we know what Bud can do, man. Bud he's also fast, he's also strong, very accurate puncher. Throws a lot of good combinations. He downloads information. He's able to kind of see what you're giving him in a fight, and he's able to take that and use it against his opponents. So he's really methodical in the ring. You see him thinking. You can see him thinking and those wheels turning. He's constantly trying to figure out what to do next against his opponents. Most opponents he figures out, and he's able to either get him up out of there or, win pretty much a convincing manner. But his last fight against Israel Madamov, and I went back and watched that fight, Madamov was just a tricky fighter in that fight for him. Madamov knew exactly, I want to say Madamov maybe had Bud figured out a little bit, because he knew exactly what to do to kind of throw him off his game. In this fight though, with Bud and Canelo, Canelo's not a tricky person, bro. He's stepping forward, so he's not gonna have to worry about a lot of movement, because that seems to give Bud a little trouble when guys have good movement in and out, trying to find their range, basically throwing Bud off and not keeping him out of range of countering, because he's a counter puncher. Both Bud and Canelo are both counter punchers. But they both can also get their offense going first and force you into doing something that they can counter. So this is going to be a chess match. We're going to see some thinking going on, but I think we're also going to see a fight, because both of these guys, neither one really backs down. Like I said, Canelo steps forward, but usually he sort of fights on the back foot while also stepping forward. He kind of just plants himself. He's looking to find his distance. He's looking to make sure he's in range at all times to dodge punches, slip a punch, and then also be able to counter to get his back. So I think some of the main things that are gonna to be looking out for in this fight. First thing, when it comes to Bud, like I said before, Canelo's been fighting way bigger guys, so how is Bud gonna handle those punches? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the first things that come to my mind. Like, how is Bud gonna handle those punches coming in? Because he's not one of those. He's not a Mayweather where you're not gonna be able to get a good shot on him. Bud's gonna end up taking a punch from Canelo. You know, maybe even a few punches. He's gonna end up taking some pretty. He's gonna. We could definitely say for sure he's gonna catch at least 1 or 2 flush punches from Canelo. It's gonna happen. Whether if it's Bud getting caught or Bud just letting it happen so he can try to see what that strength is like. I think Bud is kind of messed up that way, man. Okay, this nigga, you say he can punch bigger. Let me see what the punches is like. So I think Bud is going to be how Bud reacts to Canelo's punches. It's going to be how Canelo is going to react to Bud's punches. Will Bud be able to hit Canelo with something that'll keep him off of him? Something that'll make him think twice about just coming in? I think if Bud is going to get a knockout or a stoppage, because he's not going to get a knockout, it'll be a stoppage. He's definitely going to have to go to the body. I don't know. I don't think Canelo would knock Bud out. I don't think so. But because I think Bud has a good chin. He doesn't really get punched a lot. He doesn't take a lot of hits. So I don't think we've really got a chance to fully see what his chin is like. But I think it's gonna get tested in this fight. So it's gonna be, like I said, how Bud reacts to the punches. If Bud can hit him with anything that'll slow him down, that'll kind of slow him down from just coming in on him. This right here, right? Like I've always talked about in past videos, or the past video, I talked about how I really hated that Bud pursued this fight. I hated that he got Canelo somehow to agree to it and actually make the fight. I felt like it was pointless because it's not a legacy fight. Nobody was making Canelo Alvarez be part of Bud Crawford's legacy. So that wasn't really a reason to pursue this fight. It's a dangerous fight. It's a really dangerous. Like I'm a Bud Crawford fan, and you know what I'm saying. I'm really a Bud Crawford fan. Not much of a Canelo fan, but I respect. I respect what he does. He is a really good fighter, but he's just never done it for me like that. But with that being said, this is probably the most difficult. This is probably going to be one of the most difficult fights Bud is going to have. For the simple, because of all the things that's working against him, the size, the strength, the power, all of that. The only thing that I can say to Bud's advantage is that Canelo's style kind of works in Bud's favor. With the pressing forward, because that's kind of how Errol Spence fought. Errol Spence is one of those pressure fighters. He's going to keep coming in. He's going to just try to wear you down with punches. So I knew Bud was going to handle Spence before that fight even took place. When I finally got to see Spence fight and I saw his fighting style, I knew Bud was going to handle Spence. Canelo has a similar fighting style, but he's a little more polished than Errol. He's definitely stronger than Errol, and his defense. And when I say polished, I mean mainly on defense. His defense, his ability, his upper body movement, ability to slip punches, block punches, catch punches is A1. He's a really good, and that works in his favor because he wants to fight close, but he also don't want to get hit. So his defense is chef's kiss, man. Like Canelo is really dope when it comes to defense. So will Bud be able to, hit him with anything? I don't know. But of course, I have to make my prediction. This has been one of the hardest fights to predict for me. Simply because there's two things. I am a Bud Crawford fan, and I do want to see Bud Crawford win this fight. Also, with this being probably the most challenging fight I've had to predict, and probably the most challenging fight Bud Crawford is going to have, it's hard to bet against him, right? If anybody can do this, if anybody can go up that many weight classes and beat Canelo Alvarez, if anybody was gonna do it, I would say Bud Crawford could do it. You feel me? In my just straight up just boxing mind, just on paper, just looking at everything that we know on paper, there's no way Bud Crawford could win this fight. There's like one way, but one or two ways Bud Crawford could win this fight. But it's really, it's going to be really difficult, really challenging. Bud definitely has an uphill battle in this fight. He definitely has an uphill battle in this fight. So part of me, and this is what it is, part of me wants Bud to win, and part of me kind of knows that that's damn near impossible. But with that said, man, my prediction for this fight, you know, I believe in Bud, man. I believe Bud will be able to do it. I think he can outpoint Canelo. I think he can outbox him. It's going to be tough as hell. Mainly because, like I said, it depends on how those punches are going to affect him when he finally gets hit by Canelo. But like I said, man, I just can't see myself betting against Bud. So I got Bud Crawford by decision. I'm gonna say split decision. I don't think he'll stop Canelo. He definitely not gonna just knock him out, because motherfuckers ain't doing that, bro. Like Canelo still ain't even hit the, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really just hit the ground yet, bro. So I don't see him getting knocked out. I don't see Canelo knocking out Bud either, though. Canelo definitely, you know, is the favorite to win this fight. I also think he'll have to take it to the cards. I don't think he's gonna put Bud on the canvas, but that remains to be seen. Like I said, man, my pick is for Bud to outbox Canelo and win it on the cards in a split decision. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Man, I'm excited. I'm nervous. And I'm ready for this to happen, bro. I can't wait for Saturday, man. And yeah, man, just oh yeah, and I'm going live Saturday 6 p.m. on YouTube. Come holler at your guala, man. I'm gonna go for like an hour and just talk about, you know, whatever I want to talk about the upcoming fight, the fights that are going on. I think the undercard should have been started by then, so talk about those fights and whatever else I want to talk about, man. Just come holler at your boy, drink something, man, and we can do that, bro. But this your boy Durag True, man. This has been my prediction, and I'm out, cuz.